Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Coffee Ann on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on Wednesday morning. It is February 5th. My name's Joe Callahan. Hello there. And John Ward is here. Good morning to you there, John.
Good morning, Joe.
And Tim Draper from Navigate Credit Union. Hey, Tim.
Hello.
Hello, hello. And Melissa Smith from the St. Antoine Communities. Hi, Melissa.
Morning, everybody. It's cold out.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It is cold.
It's called winter.
I know. And normally I come in this office and I'm complaining how hot I am.
Yeah.
I'm actually cold, but there's a little space heater. I can feel the heat on my legs and
They just turned it off for your
I'm
benefit.
okay. No, it's probably perfect because in about 10 minutes I'll start getting hot again.
Oh, okay.
It's totally fine.
Melissa, don't kid yourself. You're always hot.
I'm always fascinated by
Tim.
Puxatawny Phil, where it's either 6 weeks of winter left or not 6 weeks of winter left, but
It's still
there's
6 weeks.
6 weeks of winter left.
I know,
no matter what.
it's the same. So,
It's obvious.
Woonsocket has announced there is a parking ban declared starting tomorrow morning at
Yeah, what
7
is this
a.m.
about?
7 a.m. to 11 a.m.
We're getting a little something, huh?
A little something, 2 to 4.
A little something.
We get tomorrow. It's supposed to start around 7.
2 to 4, but I think the tricky part is ice mixed in, right?
Yep.
Yes.
That's what you don't like.
Right.
Because that just coats on top of the snow
On top
and
of
then
the
just
snow.
hardens and then...
And it's a mess.
I mean, unless you're John and you're retired and you can just hang out and enjoy the storm, right? Just staying home and like watch it happen. That's the best part of retirement. You don't have to worry about getting out there right away in the morning to shovel out or
Oh, I was
salt.
out there at 6 o'clock for the last one.
You were?
Yeah.
Why?
All together now.
Because my wife had to get to work.
Oh, all right.
enough.
You know what?
You're a good man
Tuesday,
then. Good husband.
yes. That was very nice of you.
All right, Melissa, it's time for first message, please, from the St. Antoine Communities.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know a lot about St. Antoine Community, we are a large long-term care campus. We are located in North Smithfield, and we're on the line of Blackstone, Mass. and Woonsocket. On our property, we offer an expansive continuum of services from assisted living to short and long-term skilled care. We have a state-of-the-art rehab center. We also have 2 levels of memory care as well. We have a memory care assisted living and then a secured nursing home level memory care. So if you are interested in learning more about the services on our property or coming out and taking a tour with me, I'd be happy to walk you through your options. You can call me at 401-767-3500 and just ask for me, Melissa Smith.
Very good, Melissa. All right. Well, we had a fire in Woonsocket last night.
Fire.
Yesterday afternoon on Fairmont Street. Everybody's okay except the kitties. We had a couple of cats
Don't say that.
that passed away in the fire. They're still investigating what took place and how that started. No answers just yet. Unlike what happened down in East Greenwich at the funeral home,
Yeah, that
they
was
do say it was accidental. Because how many times does a funeral home go up in
They
flames?
said it started in the fireplace.
In the fireplace. So it could have been a fire. They must have had a fire going
Yeah.
and something in the chimney, and it all kind of started there. So they say they will rebuild, and right now they're branching out to the other funeral homes in that area to help out the families that have the situation there.
Was that full destruction? Did the whole
He said
entire
he's
funeral home?
He said he's going to rebuild. So it sounds like part of the roof, at least part of the roof, collapsed.
Knock it down and rebuild it.
And start.
I'm going to
start
ask a
over.
very morbid question.
What about the bodies?
Yeah.
Well, they're always down in the basement normally, so they
Well,
might have been
right.
protected.
That's what I was wondering. But like,
Yeah, they were in that freezer.
as a family who's
Clean 'em up.
preparing for saying goodbye to a loved one in a certain way and not having that, I don't know. That'd be
There's
kind of
so
tough.
many inappropriate things to say. I'm not going to say any of them.
And I totally went there, didn't I? I like.
No, that's
I
okay.
started-
You was asking
I
a
baited
question.
you in a little bit.
I was wondering that too,
I'm
actually.
sure the families were wondering.
Yeah.
Well, was Uncle so and so is there? Is
Right.
everything okay? And yes,
Generally
they
speaking,
just-
And so our tongues will remain painfully bitten.
yes.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay, I'm buttoning it up. I'm buttoning it up. But my sister-in-law's a funeral home director, so by next week I'll get you an answer on
ask
what,
her. Oh, you
like,
have homework.
what would their process be? Like, how would they?
What's the protocol?
I'm
What,
sure they.
Well, I don't think they just leave bodies laying around on tables, so that
Well,
water
for
damage,
embalming,
but-
I mean, there's.
No, but they're probably contained in some.
I don't know. I'm gonna
fashion.
find out.
And how many would they have at one time in a funeral? home?
Sometimes multiple.
Yeah, but I mean,
6
wow.
possible.
I
Yeah.
guess.
By the way, the parking ban goes from 7 a.m. on Thursday to 11 p.m. on
Okay.
Thursday, so it's basically all day.
I'll stay in Cumberland.
So there you go. I'm sure there's one coming, Tim.
I'll stay in my driveway.
Do you think, I mean, with you saying 7 a.m., are you anticipating like school delays,
not me.
cancellations, all the, no, I'm
It's
just,
supposed
not
to
you,
be
but
over by like 3, right?
Yeah, it's very quick.
So
Yeah.
it's going to happen
So,
while we're
I
all
don't
at work
know.
and at school, and hopefully.
treated before they come
Yeah,
out. But
yeah.
kids get out at like 2 o'clock now. Well, high school. And those are the ones you don't want on the road because teen drivers.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
All right. Well, it's a wait
Well,
and
we're
see.
gonna find out
It is
tomorrow.
it is a wait and see. They'll be making those decisions early tomorrow morning, probably. So and I mentioned this to John when he came in today. And I don't know if any of you have gone through this, but I had my primary care doctor was part of Stewart Healthcare.
Oh.
In Massachusetts, and she didn't want to be part of the people that took them over. So she moved. And it worked out well for me because she was in Taunton, and now she has moved to Plainville, which is even
Oh,
closer to me,
great
which is
for you.
fantastic. She moved over to Sturdy Health. Well, now I got to have my medical records from Taunton, move them over to Plainville. And I said, well, how do I do this? Well, the easiest way to do it is you to go to Taunton, fill out the form, sign it, and they'll send them over to us. Okay, I do.
And pay.
No one told me about paying.
Yeah.
No one told me about paying. And yesterday in the mail,
You got a bill.
I got a bill.
How much?
Now it's not a lot. I mean, it's $11.75. But I'm like, and they said, but in the bill
It's
it
the
says,
principle.
That's right. In the bill it actually says, as you were told, you need to pay this. I said nobody told me a
Yeah.
thing
Yep.
about paying.
Right. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
could have
some-
told you
and it's
that you're
some-
going to have to pay.
and it's,
Melissa.
and it's some third party from Arizona.
It's
that
kind of
they're gonna
ridiculous.
pay. I'm
You're
like,
paying
what?
for the copies, and then you're paying
Oh, yeah.
for it to be shipped, which is...
It's 5 cents a copy, and there's 16 pages. So that was
Hey,
that
you
was
have,
what.
a, you have a pretty
wait,
short
wait.
medical history
Well, that's
then.
what it
I've
said.
seen...
But if you go to your doctor, and I asked you about this.
I know.
you but
Just
if you-
hand them to me.
If you go to the doctor, you can say, "I want a copy of my records," and they don't charge you for that.
Yeah, they do.
They will.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of your own records.
Yeah. I went to a new primary care not long ago, was having
Joe?
some OBGYN stuff, had to get a copy of that and
That's why
bring
we-
it over, and I got charged.
That's why we need more portals, because when I went to get my blood tests,
Yeah.
every time I get them, they send them up to a portal. They
Right.
send me an email. I open it up. I can get every result I want right there.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
It's
I
it's
even-
ridiculous
but I-
for what we pay for insurance and all that
I-
they benefit from with the copays and
Well,
everything. You shouldn't have gotten charged for that.
No,
It's silly.
Actually,
know.
you should have gotten an email.
Yeah.
Give me your
Right.
email address, because they're all electronic.
Yeah. What
But
was?
like even
You'd
my
have to encrypt that.
even my open heart surgery, within a month after the surgery, I got an email linking me to a portal. I opened up the portal. It literally had all the narratives from the surgeon, from the anesthesiologist, everything they did, all the medications they used, everything, describing the procedure down to the minute. No charge. It was part of the charge for the. I'm sure somebody paid something.
But on the bill, it actually said HIPAA labor,
Yeah.
like $2.91. I go, what labor to get up and walk to the file cabinet?
They probably had to pay special insurance for that to be mailed, which is
That was another charge of
Yeah.
shipping.
Why didn't you call me? I feel
$2
like I'm just gonna...
$2 because I feel I have done this before years ago and it didn't cost me a thing. So I'm like, okay, this is the process that you do. And so yeah, it was like $8 and then $2 and another $2 and the whole thing came to $11.75.
Going forward, I am
Oh,
your
and if I-
healthcare consultant.
and if I
I
don't-
want you to feel as though you can reach out to me.
And if I don't pay it,
Yeah.
they don't move the records over. They tell them stop. No, they haven't paid, so don't send them.
I think that the simple answer to this now is
Well, I'm gonna pay it. That's a simple answer, but
they charge you because they can't get reimbursed from health insurance for doing it.
Yeah.
So
I
they're going to charge
guess.
you retail
Yeah.
of something.
so I mean, like I said, it's not a lot of money. I'm
no
like,
such
I
thing
was
as-
just surprised. I go, I don't know. I see the return address. I go, I don't know who these people are, and why am I getting a bill?
No, in all fairness, paper costs money, ink costs money.
And a
People who
person,
do that cost money.
There's
you gotta look that
actually
information up.
not to like bring this back to my line of work or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, but I will say there are a lot of long-term care facilities, assisted livings, et cetera. We do not do this, but they will charge you an application fee,
Like a college
more or
tuition.
less, because you're taking a packet of information, you're completing it,
Yeah.
and you're giving it to us. If you don't end up moving in and you end up going somewhere else, you've taken our time.
Your time, your
so that's how they
resources.
look at it. We do not do that at St. Antoine Community, but there are many facilities that will charge you if you
So
don't
to-
end up moving in a loved one because you've taken the time of the admissions person, you've taken paperwork, you've
To
the
John's
labor
point, shouldn't
involved.
there be now today's world, shouldn't there be a portal you can go to and just put in that information electronically, and it just automatically gets populated, and then
Well,
you don't
funny
have
you
to
say
have
that.
somebody.
We have an online application that does get emailed right to me.
Well, that's good.
Thank you.
But you don't have to.
But
Is
yeah,
there any
there's-
manual intervention that you have to do after you get it?
I think that, well, let me specify this. The thing that bothers me about assisted livings doing that and charging for it is it's assisted living. So generally speaking, most of them are private pay,
Yeah.
et cetera. Long-term care, you're dealing with mostly Medicaid. And so but the application process for long-term care is so much longer. I can see maybe where the labor-intensive part of that really comes
Yeah.
in, because you're doing a lot more of like the medical screening and evaluation and
I
collection
think another
of.
part of that too is, I hate to come down on government bureaucracy because it's so easy, but
Bureaucracy is on my daughter's English test today. I'm just letting you know.
Bureaucracy.
Hope she spells
Went
it
over
right.
that last night.
the
Good use of words, John.
well, it's just.
Can
it's
you
just-
spell it for us?
When you have, yes, I can. I do it frequently in my emails, in my complaints. But the fact is, there are so many rules involved with government programs for either Medicare, Medicaid, something like that, that it could be when they allow you fees for service, and they include the ability to charge administrative fees, they then restrict what can be allowed in the administrative fees, so that certain hours of work isn't qualifying administrative. I don't know if they go that deep, but I know they go very, very deep on some of these things where, specific services, and you say, why isn't that allowed?
Yeah.
Because it's medical, but no, they don't allow that. Or insurance companies can do the same thing.
I get
sometimes.
cringy when it's nickel and diming in healthcare. It's such a
Well,
such a
apparently
delicate area of conversation to.
Apparently, they're not sending it over electronically. They're making copies, putting it in an envelope, and giving it to the mailman.
Why aren't they sending?
And
it?
they
Why
really,
aren't they sending it
they
electronically?
really should, because then you're gonna have an encrypted
Which is
database,
which is why
which
now
they may
when
not.
When I do public record requests from the government, I now only ask for them in electronic response, because that way, if I were to ask, like the last one I asked for was the pension valuation for the city's pension plan, and it's a 60 or 70 page document. If I asked for it hard copy, for them to send it to me, or for me to be able to pick it up, I'd have to pay per page. If I ask for it electronic, and the tragic thing is, it's already stored in a PDF file. So I ask for it electronically 10 days to the day. Of course, they don't answer me right away anymore. 10 days to the day later, when it's due, I get an email with a PDF copy, and there's no charge because it takes, we get a first hour of labor free. Well, to send the PDF in an email takes seconds.
Yeah.
So,
And then John gets to print it out on his paper using his ink.
Well,
Then
that's
I-
what I
then
thought.
I
But the
store it
doctors
as
would
a
do it that
PDF.
way.
Stores
I
a
read
PDF.
it.
That's right.
but that's how I always responded when I was working in Lincoln. Was
Yeah.
my first request was from some gadfly who wanted the audit report, and he wanted to know how much we were going to charge and when he could pick it up. And within 15 minutes, I sent an email back to him with a PDF of the thing attached, and I said,
Here it is for free.
"Here's the copy. It's available to you. Anything else you need, let me know. No charge."
No charge.
And I got to tell you, want to shut down somebody who thinks he's going to be a pain in your neck, answer him promptly and
Tell them it's not going
easily.
to cost anything.
And it's not going to cost anything, and just stop bothering me.
Okay. Over in Lincoln, speaking of Lincoln, they're looking for 4 shoplifters. They went into the Ultra Beauty, that's at Lincoln Mall,
Oh, yeah.
and stole
It's brand new.
nearly
Brand new.
$3,300 worth of stuff. That's a lot of bottles, isn't it?
No, makeup's expensive.
Yeah,
Makeup's
okay, maybe
expensive.
two things.
I don't know.
I'm not surprised how quickly that added up. I have 2 teenage girls, but
If they went to Five Below, they'd need 3 carriages.
No makeup at Five Below, though.
no, but I can tell you, it fascinates me in some ways. So for female listeners out there that are familiar with Ulta Beauty or Sephora, some of those stores, it is wicked expensive to buy makeup these days. So you're not just talking. Back in my day, CVS aisle, Revlon CoverGirl was expensive to me. This is
The
like
Boxo makeup with the
monumental.
multiple colors and
Oh,
multiple
yeah.
shades. I used to get that from over Christmas. Finally, she just goes, "I hate that. Don't ever get that from me again."
You know why? Because you use one color out of the entire
No,
palette.
That's right. It's
No
like
one uses
56,
the hot
and I would always
pink
buy
and
the one
bright
that had
purple.
more colors and more colors
No
because I
one
thought the more the better. Until she told me
More
to
the
just
better.
never buy that again because she hated it. And I was
Oh,
like,
that is
okay.
so funny.
Oh my
20
god!
years of marriage, and I did not know that.
So $3,300
But
is not a.
when I
not a
think
lot of
about
bottles.
that, it's it. I mean,
It's a
even just
small
I laugh
shopping
in our
bag.
house. We just had Christmas, right? Stocking stuffers were
Right,
basically
yeah.
makeup. I just got the girls, refills
No.
on what they normally get, and I couldn't believe how much
it costs.
it adds up.
Yeah.
We make them buy a lot of their makeup themselves. They have to work for it and whatever, because I think it's ridiculous. But it's not $3,000 is not that much in makeup. It's probably like a basket full.
All
They
right,
probably went to
surveillance-
the right stand.
Wow.
Surveillance photos of the that they're looking for are on the Lincoln Police Department's Facebook page. Anyone with information is asked to contact Lincoln Police.
Is it women?
No. I think there's one woman and 3 guys.
They must be doing a Valentine's Day special up there out on
probably.
the back.
Yeah, I have to tell you, Lincoln Mall area. When was I there? Last weekend? I'm not sure.
It's Lincoln Commons.
Lincoln Commons, whatever. It's always
know.
going to be Lincoln
The
Mall.
Dream Machine.
I didn't say that, and the smell of Hickory Farms when you're walking through.
Not for those of us who remember. It's
Yeah.
not.
I know, but I felt like it felt very dirty to me. Like I walked
Really?
between Marshall's down to Home Goods, so through that stretch down to like Ulta area, 3 carriages filled with like food, like half-eaten food left in the carriage, a couple blankets. Like I'm assuming there's probably either a homeless population, something is going through that area. I know there's a public bus stop or whatever. Empty nip bottles all in the mulch beds along the way, and I was like, wow.
Okay.
It didn't take long because I feel like when it first got refreshed and reopened, it was not. It
I
would
think they were
look
trying
really
to
nice.
make
I'm
it
like,
more
oh
like Garden
man, it
City,
looks.
and that is not.
Yeah.
happen.
And now you're saying shoplifting, and you're kind of like,
Well, we got to take a break here in the Coffee and program. So, Melissa, time for a second message from the St. Antoine communities.
Yeah, so I have spoken a little bit about this time of year being really very busy for families reaching out and exploring options, whether it's assisted living or long-term placement for a loved one. And we really are just asking everyone to reach out far enough in advance, explore your options early, plan, get an understanding of what the process is. It's really hard for those of us in admissions to listen to a really tragic story or an unfortunate circumstance where you need help right away and we can't help you. So taking the time to kind of go through the steps, and sometimes it's hard for families to see what does the future look like, but it will help you in the long run to get an understanding of the process and have expectations, realistic expectations of wait times, and also expense. We're fortunate enough that we have the option for spend down onto Medicaid waiver. But that doesn't always mean we have an available spot for a loved one to come in who's already on it. But also understanding kind of how the financial spending that you're engaging in right now may come back and impact your ability to apply for Medicaid. So just, again, getting that understanding and walking through the steps, we can help you with that. You can reach me at 401-767-3500. Happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thanks, Melissa. And the Coffee and program will continue. Please stick around.
Here's our tip for having more fun this winter. Ski, smile, repeat. Ski, smile, repeat. Ski, smile, repeat. Check out our 3-day learn-to packages. You always save when you buy online. Go to whatchoose.com.
Hi, this is Steve Tebow of Eston & Richard Insurance. I'm sure that you must be getting weary of seeing the insurance ads on TV, which are getting to be as annoying as all the attorney commercials. Those insurance companies on TV talk a good game, but they're not able to provide the local service and attention that we provide at Eston & Richard Insurance. We can provide great prices, coverage, and claim service for all your home, auto, and business needs. We insure more rental property in Northern Rhode Island than any other agency. We also have over 20 companies to choose from, so we're not forced to put you with a one-size-fits-all insurance company. Call us today at 401-766-4200, whether you are in Rhode Island or Mass. The biggest source of new customers for Eston & Richard Insurance comes from our already satisfied policy holders. Let us provide you a no-obligation insurance quote. You can do this by calling 401-766-4200 or by visiting our website at estonandrichard.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with John Ward and Tim Draper and Melissa Smith. And nice of you to join us as well. And so John sent me John sent out an email yesterday that I
did?
Actually got forwarded to me, so that was good.
Oh.
And so I heard it from John first, but and it's about Hasbro. And I mean, if the Boston Business Journal is reporting that they're coming up
business.
I thought, but now Boston Business Journal is reporting it.
Maybe.
So you got it from Providence
It
Business?
was a Providence Business.
All right. That Hasbro's moving to the Boston Seaport.
There's apparently
Did I not say that a year ago?
There's an identified location they've got their eye on.
Yeah.
So we're out of the. They may be moving to Boston into the. They're
leaving
looking at
Pawtucket.
this place in Boston, and it's down near the water.
I love
Yeah.
the seaport. Not that I want them to leave Rhode Island, but I love that part. That
part of Boston?
Yeah.
I'm going to learn to hate
It's a
Boston
good spot
even
for
more
them.
now.
It is nice. It's so
It is.
expensive even to visit. but
Very
it is nice.
expensive.
You're gonna hate what, Tim?
I'm going to hate Boston now.
Because Hasbro's
because they're-
might be going there.
They're taking my kids. Really takes me off.
Will they move with them?
But
I don't think they're going to have much of a choice. They have mortgages and they have
Okay.
families, and so they
Alright.
have to go.
Well, it's just a commute. It's just a train ride in.
It's just a train ride in, Tim.
Right. So the
All
the
your-
kids that my kids have that are in daycare that we have to manipulate now changes the entire equation. Everything was nice and everything was working fine.
Are we being a selfish grandpa?
I am.
We're being a selfish grandpa.
Damn right I am.
all of Hasbro's executives that live in Central Falls can just pick it up at the train station there.
How many are living in Central Falls?
None of them. How many of them live in Rhode Island?
Ask me
None
how
of
many
them.
CBS executives live in Woonsocket.
That'd be zero, right?
That would be zero.
Right.
Okay, so. All right. Now it's nothing official, of course. So, but it's looking better
But of
and
course,
better.
Doesn't have to be
With
official.
that,
It is.
I always ask the question, and what of CVS?
Right.
Their tax plan runs out in 27.
Yeah.
Their CEO lives in Dallas, Texas, has absolutely no reason to come
To
to
keep it here.
Woonsocket, Rhode Island,
Wow.
and he ain't moving.
Mm-hmm.
He's living in Texas.
You think he's thinking he might
So-
up and move the whole thing to?
I think, again, my point is
Lone
not
Star
so much
State?
that he's thinking of moving the whole thing,
Yeah.
but it's not important to him.
To keep it here.
He lives in Texas.
Yeah.
If there's a better way to do it with somebody else, like, it's just that the tax stabilization plan and all of their arrangements for those buildings runs out at the end of 27, which means they have to start figuring out whether they're going to stay or go.
Uh-huh.
There's a big country out there.
No,
There's a
I
lot of
know.
states that are
That are
paying a
competing.
lot of money to get people to move to them.
Right.
They're already moving out Etna people. They basically never left Hartford area anyway. There's a lot of things that are going on, and not a lot of people going back to the office. Things could change a lot more easily today than they could have in 2019, when it was much more congested in the headquarters and up in the industrial park. So I'm still very, very concerned about whether or not, because they're not saying anything, whether or not they're making plans to consider alternatives and who they might be negotiating with already
Okay.
from
Well,
other states.
we'll see what happens
Like-
there. We'll worry
like-
about that in 2
like-
years, I guess.
Like New York.
Yeah. Okay. Hasbro may make a decision within a week. They're saying so. We'll just find out maybe. And I know they want to give them like the Apex site for like $1 or something like that. Or
There's a place in Providence, on one of the old the 195
They were
corridor
in
stuff.
Providence.
Yeah.
They walked away from that.
They didn't own that building though. They leased it.
They leased it out. Right?
And I think they walked away from it because most of the people were still working from home, and there was not a lot of people in the office, and so I spent all that money on that
Part
space.
of why I'm concerned about CVS.
Right, right. This is
There's a lot of empty parking spaces
it's
up in those
changing
lots up there.
landscapes, folks. We do nothing in Rhode Island to encourage anything, any big splashy stuff. Everything's little, tiny, incremental. That just when you lose the big one, has a massive impact on your tax base, on your employees, on the people who live here that work there. Yeah, it's just but we don't care about that. It seems we don't really want to do anything to encourage such businesses. Like John said, is anybody talking to CVS right now? Are they having conversations?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I've heard they're trying, but CVS isn't responding.
No, we don't want to. There's nothing to discuss right now. Is that what the
They're
kind of
just
thing?
they're not getting their return call, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, Tim, has your son planned out how to get on the T and how to get from Franklin to?
Well, I have one kid
Boston?
lives in Rentham, so she could take the Franklin train in. That's not a
Yeah.
big deal. She's not that far from there.
Right.
My son in Cumberland would have to, I would imagine, go to South Attleboro or go to Pawtucket to grab the train to go in, unless he wants to take the drive up to 128 station and take it in from there, which they could.
Now,
I mean,
your
there's a
son
couple
is
different
the
ways.
one that has your grandson?
Yeah.
The tricky part is a parent commuting to Boston and taking the train is that panic feeling of if there's an emergency, I don't have a car
Now,
just to get.
Fortunately, my wife works in Lincoln, and my grandson is Cadence Academy in Lincoln. So
Yeah.
there is, it's pretty easy for us to take care of that situation should something
No,
come
it's
up.
still that,
But my
like-
daughter-in-law works
Yeah.
in Framingham at
I
TJX
was-
companies.
Oh, so she's
So
far
she's
away
far
too.
away, and if he's in Boston,
That's tough. Then you start to think.
then they start to think, do we have to move out of Cumberland and move
Yeah.
closer to work? Which is just
Wow.
Cumberland, why not Attleboro Station?
they could go to
could do
Attleboro
that.
Station. Yeah.
So,
I would suggest that because it's very crowded on that
It's
commute,
wicked.
commute in,
Yeah.
and that's where the most people get on. South Attleboro and Attleboro. After that, you're standing.
Right.
well, this goes back to your original comment. I know I jumped in with my
Yeah.
love of Seaport area, but the rent is really expensive up there. I'm sure that it's going to be very expensive for them to develop a space up there. So how does that argument
Well, the
as to
build-
why they need to leave Rhode Island fall into that conversation when you're really
because-
just
Closer to Logan.
Because it has nothing to do with occupancy costs.
Right.
It has everything to do with
I want-
access, the airport,
Yeah.
And I want to be
direct
with the
flights
cool kids.
across the country that you don't get out of Providence too often enough. There's a whole
Other
bunch
logistics.
of things involved. And
Right.
occupancy costs, though everybody screams about taxes and lease costs and everything, when you reach a certain level, that becomes much less of a problem. And the convenience of the people you do business with becomes a much more important feature.
And they're not
Plus,
the
the technology people up in Boston that are right there.
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
so the new
The schools.
Right, the new CEO has stated that he does not want to be in the toy manufacturing business anymore. He wants to be an intellectual property company, and he's going to sell off
about that.
Gaming.
It's gaming. He's in digital gaming and the Dungeons and Dragons of the world and the Wizards of the West Coast and all this electronic and role playing
Because
games,
he
which
couldn't
he
be a
feels
Red
is,
Sox pitcher.
it's what he and his team believe is the future of gaming, and so Hasbro is a brand name. That's what they want. They want the name, and not necessarily the stuff behind it. They make products in China. They
Mr.
make
Potato
products
Head
in,
will just go away then after a while.
No, I think somebody else will manufacture it and pay
So
Hasbro the
it-
licensing fee to
It'll get
produce it.
manufactured,
Right.
licensed out to somebody,
Right.
Yeah.
and they'll make electronic games with Mr. Potato Head for small children.
So you can move to Boston, to John's point, where all the intellectual capital they think is
Yeah.
from a creative standpoint. Although I don't understand why RISD doesn't have any sort of there's a whole group of people that are artistic, and they've got URI and Brown, and there's a lot of intellectual capital here in Rhode Island.
I guess
but it's
my
other
question
stuff.
would be: is there enough intellectual capital in artistic endeavors that has a direct connection into the technology for artistic
Well, I don't think-
endeavors, or are they more three-dimensional artistic endeavors?
They must think not. So that's the way.
All right. We're going to take a break here at Coffee Inn. It's time to bring you the weather forecast, which is being sponsored by Compassion International.
The National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for snow, rain, freezing rain, and sleet tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Partly sunny skies today, then gradually becoming fully sunny with a high of 28 degrees and a breeze from the northwest. Tonight, increasingly cloudy, overnight low of 12 with a calm wind. Thursday's weather, snow, possibly mixed with sleet before 2 p.m. Freezing rain likely. Possible mix of snow between 2 and 3 p.m. and then chance of freezing rain after 3. It's going to be a messy day, high of 34. Chance of precipitation 100%. New snow and sleet accumulation of 2 to 4 inches possible, plus a glaze of ice on everything. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, 28. Friday, mostly sunny, high of 39. Saturday, mostly sunny, high of 35. Saturday night, snow, mainly after 9 p.m. A low of 24 degrees and calm wind. Sunday, an 80% chance of rain and snow continues till about noontime, and then just ending as rain in the afternoon, high of 42. Monday, sunshine and 33, and Tuesday, partly sunny skies, high of 33.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 21 degrees. This weather forecast brought to you by Compassion International. Thousands of kids in poverty have waited over a year for a sponsor. End their wait today. Become a Compassion sponsor. Text radio to 83393.
Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogies with onions and what they call dirty sour cream. Or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported foods. Open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 in the morning till 6 p.m., Wednesdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays from 8 to 5 p.m. It's Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse. Follow us on Facebook and learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street, Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of Win Radio Was.
I'm Mortimer. Bill. Is that you under that blindfold? Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am. No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold? On a clear day, I can see the blindfold. You can? Yeah.
Win Radio Was. Shows from the past for today's imaginations.
Win Radio Was airs Monday through Friday right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
It is Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. John Ward is here, and Melissa Smith is here, and Tim Draper. It's time for our first message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
Joe, on my drive-in, I heard one of our commercial spots here on radio for our Embark account, which is an account designed for young folks between the ages of 13 and 22. And it really is a great way for parents to help kids learn a little bit more about money and about how to manage their finances. This account is pretty much like a checking account. There are some things that you cannot get with this account that you can get with checking accounts, like overdraft protection, things like that. However, there are no fees with this account. You open it up for as little as $10. You get access to mobile banking, a budgeting tool. You can, when you hit 18, you can do bill payment through the account. And it's just a whole host of great ways to use the account. You're going to get a debit card, which as a parent, you can help control what that card is used for from a spending pattern. You can turn it on and off if you think that there's a problem with it or if it gets lost. So there's a lot of intervention that parents have with the Embark account. But more importantly, it really is an account designed to teach your child responsibility. We're not going to let the kid go to a store, use a debit card to buy a gaming system that they don't have the money in the account for. So it's going to get shut down. They're going to say no, they're going to decline the transaction. And as a child trying to buy something for a decent amount of money with all your friends standing around you and your card gets declined, pretty embarrassing, probably a lesson you're going to learn. So if you are interested in setting your child up for success in the future, please head over to Navigant Credit Union on Park Avenue and open up one of these great Embark accounts. You can also do it online at navigantcu.org.
Thanks, Tim. And before we get on to other discussion, it is time to pull a winner for today's Milk Fund calendar raffle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Trying to provide a little sound effect that we're really shaking it up.
And they're all in there. And today's winner will receive a $50 Amazon gift card donated by Senator Brian Thompson.
Oh.
So Melissa has pulled out a name. Can you read the name? Is it easy enough to read?
Am I allowed to say the whole name? Yes.
Yes, the whole name's fine.
I'm going to try this.
Okay.
I don't want to butcher it. I'm very sorry.
All right.
It's Michelle Bocchini.
Bocchini, yes.
Bocchini?
Yeah.
I went literal with the
Well, it's okay.
So, yeah, from Woonsocket.
All right. Congratulations, Michelle. We'll get in touch with her so she could get her Amazon gift card. So that's very cool.
Well, fun.
Yep.
So, and we'll be doing this all week, every weekday during February, pulling out winners for the Milk Fund calendar raffle.
Sounds like a menu selection at an Italian restaurant.
It's delicious, yes. All right, now...
We're going Italian tonight. I'm going to have some bocchini.
Well, apparently, Donald Trump wants the Gaza Strip for us. Wants to make it the what do you say, the Riviera of the
Riviera
of the Middle East, or whatever you want to call it.
He wants
Beautiful.
the Palestinians to leave.
I know he does, because we got to rebuild. But when we rebuild, it's going to be ours.
None of the countries around them want the Palestinians because they come with a little thing called Hamas.
Yeah, I don't think any of the countries want us there.
And like my feelings about eating hummus, they don't want Hamas.
But Netanyahu met with Trump yesterday. He thought this was a great idea.
Well, yeah, he would.
Of protection, right?
Well, then he doesn't have to be responsible for it.
Yeah. So, well, that was the latest.
Listen,
from
Trump's
yesterday.
Between
Like,
Panama,
wow.
Greenland, and now Gaza?
Now Gaza.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We want we want it all.
And then I don't know. He's just venturing into areas that are bothering me, like this thing where they're
Unhinged.
pulling together the names of all of the FBI agents who were involved in investigating January 6th, like they're going to somehow penalize them, or fire them, or suspend. It's
For doing their job?
No, wait a minute. You failed to acknowledge the fact that 100% of these people are simply employees that were instructed to go do some investigation, and they did their job.
Yeah.
And how it turned out is not their mission. They go collect evidence.
Right.
And they were simply doing their job. And now you're going to punish them? You're a vindictive little putz if you do that. No, that's not how this is supposed to work.
I'll tell you one thing
you
that
change the leadership, you put them on a direction that's the right path, and you simply say, if you did something that you don't think you did right in the past, get over it. But unless you broke the law, you're still working for us.
All right.
I will tell you the one thing the one good here is that it has really gotten Seth Magaziner animated. I have never seen Seth, our congressman, so fired up as he was
About
yesterday
this?
in the front of the Treasury building when he was screaming about
Not
everything,
happy?
going not happy. Like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen him like that
this?
before. He's very calm and very sort of monotone.
Yeah.
He was fired up.
All
He was
right.
right next to Elizabeth Warren. Your buddy, Joe.
She didn't start crying, did she?
No.
Okay. Well, that's
She
good.
wasn't wearing her headdress.
No, she's
Oh, that's
she's
awful.
as crazy on the other side.
That's awful, John. All righty. Now, so we had the crash of the helicopter and the airplane in Washington, D.C. It's not really the good news, but they recovered all the bodies.
That's
and I
good.
was really thought, okay, we found 60 and we're missing
that's
4.
important.
Listen, they're all strapped into
I know
their
it's
seats.
important. I know, but who knows what happens when
I know.
the water comes along. But finding all 67, it was important, and they did.
Yeah.
So,
I think
congratulations. I don't think that's no
in the end,
but,
I'm not so sure they're just not going to find something mechanical wrong with the system, because they're saying that Army helicopter was flying
Too high.
The tower says that the plane was at 300 feet. That was the correct altitude for the plane to be coming into the runway at. That's pretty straightforward. The helicopter, which has more flexibility on how it flies, was at it. I think the instrument in the helicopter said 200.
200.
But
The
they were
tower said
actually at 300.
Yeah.
And so at some point, something's not right.
But the tower system said they were at 300.
Yep.
That's why they warned them off. The helicopter system said 200.
Yep.
And I saw the FAA
Jeez,
director on TV saying, we have to find out how this happened.
Right.
How can the helicopter think he's at 200 feet
When he's not.
when he's at 300 feet? And the tower's at 300 feet, saying you're at 300 feet. There's something
So,
clearly wrong.
Fortunately, there's black boxes in all 3 of those places.
Yep.
So we'll hopefully see.
They found
what
all of those
was-
too.
Yeah. What was recorded on those devices at the time of the impact?
Be another month before that information comes out. So look, we'll see what happens there.
I just wonder why they take. I understand why they would take people out of Washington in an emergency over the Potomac, because it's a straight route to somewhere that they got to get to. Why is that route take them through the flight path of of a public airport? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I thought when it broke. Because
why
I'm
are
very
they doing that?
confused
They just said
by...
it's just very tricky to fly around Washington, D.C. now.
Right. That's why they go over the river.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to hit trucks. You're not going to have
Right.
people shooting at you. But why aren't they going north in the Potomac?
Yeah.
To someplace
I don't know.
inland.
Right.
They're going somewhere.
Roundabout.
I don't
Yeah.
know if they're going down to, for all I know, they're going down to a special ship in Norfolk. They're going to some place in the Chesapeake Bay. Who knows? But they're going somewhere. I don't know why they would choose a path that would even put them close to the landing area.
I even think that
of a major
the
airport.
difference of 100 feet between the two is insane. Why would you do that?
Way too close.
When you're flying, just regular flying, like
Yeah.
when I was doing the small planes, there's a 500 foot
yeah, at least.
distance buffer,
yeah.
and it depends on the direction you're going. If you're flying east-west, you're at the 3,500 foot, and if you're going west-east, it's the 3,000 foot. So there's always
Your lane.
yeah, your lane. It's a good description.
It's
a
like
lane.
the right or left side of the street.
Right.
I mean,
Yep.
Well, from what I've heard, they said the helicopter said, "Yeah, I see the plane," but they think they're looking at another plane.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh yeah, I see that one, and couldn't see the one they were
as
about
they
to crash
crashed,
into.
there was another one taking off.
Yeah.
Because you can see that in the videos.
You got to remember, the plane was kind of right in front of them.
Yeah.
The lights are facing forward towards the runway, so if you're on the side, you may not necessarily see those. You're only going to see either the one red or green light, and I'm trying to think of what it would be on the right. It's the red, I think, on the right wing. So you might see that one, and then you might see the strobe tail light on the back. But it's not like you're looking at the plane if you were looking at the end of a runway at the plane, where it's all lit up and everything's coming at you.
I don't want to be ridicule technology, but if my little pickup truck and car can sense a car 100 feet away
the
coming
brakes
down
on.
the road towards me and start beeping at
Yeah.
me,
Yep.
don't these
Planes have these
airborne
kind of things?
things have
like a bubble
sensors
around them
that
with-
can
yeah.
pick something up from
Something's
500
nearby.
feet away?
You just mentioned the other plane. I was just thinking, I haven't heard any accounts from people on that plane that was taking off. Would that
Well, it
explode?
was
Like what?
behind them.
It was behind.
Was
They wouldn't
behind
even have
them?
known it happened until
They
they
probably
got home.
didn't even know what happened.
You're right.
when
So
they
that had
landed.
taken off,
Wow.
and it was.
Yeah. Plane's behind it though.
Yeah.
I wonder if people are that have flights coming up. Well, I don't want to go through Reagan
Well, my wife
Airport.
doesn't want to fly into Reagan anymore.
I got a
gotta
buddy
go
of mine
somewhere
at
else.
work that's going to DC next month for
Yeah.
the Government Affairs Council.
Reagan's-
He's like, I don't know if I want to fly in there. I'm like, right now it's probably the safest place you
I
can
thought
fly
the same
into.
thing. We're going in April, and I thought the same thing. I'm like,
Reagan's a very convenient
safest time right
airport
now.
for
Yeah.
Washington anyway, because you get the subway, the train right there.
Yep.
So you can walk to the train. It takes you right through the center of Washington. You can go anywhere in there.
I
You
love
pick
the
up,
metro.
I can literally go to my son's house in Ashburn from
Yeah.
Reagan by train.
Wow.
Now that they've extended the Silver Line all the way out to
Dulles.
Ashburn.
well, it's just it's
and Dulles
tragic.
Airport.
It's sad because it is.
It is. Well, it's been 10 years, but Rhode Island finally has a new chief medical examiner.
Ooh.
We haven't had one in 10 years.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
And accordingly, he wants to clear out the state's backlog of cases. Didn't even know we had this.
Is that the one? That's because the former medical examiner, they did some incorrect procedures or
Probably.
something, and they lost accreditation, I think is the word they used.
It's
In
like
20
saying, it's like the people that say that the bridge that fell, actually, that's the way we planned it.
Yeah.
The last medical examiner was Dr. Christina Stanley. She resigned in 2015 as the chief medical examiner. And the new one, Dr. Marius Tora, Tarau, said his first order of business, he'd like to hire more assistant medical examiners to help with the backlog of cases. He's worked as an ME in Oklahoma City and Kansas City. And he was the chief medical examiner in Jackson County, Missouri. And now he's the
So
chief up here.
He's Quincy.
I wonder who's been doing
That's
all
right.
that work for police departments and
Yeah.
other things.
Well, we have a crime lab, don't we? Is that?
Yeah.
I know
Is
it's
that
not the same
MEs?
thing, but
When you're doing cause of death things and criminal activities, doesn't it go to the medical examiner's office?
It feels like on all the Law and Orders and
Or is
on
it
all
that they
the
have-
Well,
TV shows.
we
There's
have-
always a
Or is
whole
it that the staff
team
is
of-
all there? They just don't have a boss.
Well, we have medical examiners, just there's no chief
Just no
medical.
chief
no,
medical
no,
examiner.
yeah, no one's in
a lot of
charge.
Indians. They have a lot of Indians and no chiefs.
No one's running,
I would
running the
suggest
campus.
Frank Dakova.
Well, we already have one,
Oh, okay.
We have one now.
and we have one now. So here we go.
Where were you yesterday?
Joe's gonna laugh in about 20 minutes when he figures out what I just said.
I know. I'm trying to figure it out. It's not coming to me. All right, Tim. It's time for a second message from.
Google the name now.
I'll give you the answer. F Troop.
All right. Time for a second message from Navigant, please, Tim.
Thanks, Joe. Last couple weeks, we've been talking about our cash management program, which is not a new thing that Navigant's offering, but it's definitely an enhanced program for small businesses and actually businesses of any size. If you are looking for a way to kind of ease your aggravation with the paperwork and the administration part of doing your business, let Navigant Credit Union help you through some of those tricky areas. We'll help automate your system a little bit. We'll send folks out there to help you set up your payrolls and sweep accounts and any other type of account that you might use as a business owner. Our job is really out there to make your job easier. So if you give us a call at 233-4700 and ask for somebody in the on the cash management team, Brian Pereira is who our VP is. It's running that program. And we would be happy to come out, do an evaluation for you, and let you know what's up. So thanks.
All right, Tim, thanks. And more of the Coffee and program is coming your way. Please stick around.
Due to higher prices for food, gas for the car, and utilities, the bills piled up, and I got worried.
For years, the Good Neighbor Energy Fund has responded by providing energy assistance to local households.
Thanks to the fund, my family is getting through this tough time.
If your household is having trouble paying the heating bills, please contact a CAP agency, call United Way 211, or visit Rhode-IslandGoodNeighbor.org. Ad sponsored by the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
What's that sound? That's the sound of Downy Unstoppable scent beads going into your washing machine and giving your clothes freshness that lasts all day long. There it is again. It's like music to your ears, or more like music to your nose. That freshness is irresistible. Let's get a Downy Unstoppables bottle shake. And now a sniff solo. Nice. With Downy Unstoppables, you just toss, wash, wow, for all-day freshness.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's President's Day sale is happening now. Get a king bed for a queen price. Save up to $700 plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
Northern Rhode Island Council of the Arts is celebrating 30 years of Mardi Gras. The coronation of the Queen is February 23rd and includes an Italian buffet. Tickets $20. The Mardi Gras Ball is March 1st, includes a Creole Cajun buffet, and will feature the Squeeze Box Stompers. Tickets $35. Tickets can be purchased from any Queen contestant or at Missy's Family Restaurant, Cello's, Timeless Antiques, Pine Swamp Place, Beela's Flowers, The Honey Shop, Creative Impressions, Vos True Value Hardware, or call 401-486-9380 or 401-257-5797.
And it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Smith, Tim Draper, and John Ward. And did you hear about they had to go rescue these people that go hiking in the mountains?
Yep.
Up on Mount Washington.
They were like 30 feet off the trail, weren't they? They weren't that far off the trail.
Well, the storms blow in so quickly.
Yeah.
You never know what's coming, and that's it. We can't see where the trail is.
Right.
And these were experienced hikers
because they were dressed.
They had dressed right. They had everything they were supposed to have for bad weather.
Yep.
And they still needed help.
Yeah.
A couple of women from Massachusetts, one from Southborough, one from Westborough, and the storm came, and they called. They were lucky enough called 911, and they went out looking for them, and then they had to get that snowcat.
Yeah.
To try to track them down to get them, and they said, they got them.
So glad we finally hear a story about experienced hikers having a problem.
Yeah, you want to stay out there.
So can you imagine what the
usually it's
shirts and
Looney
sneakers.
Tunes in September. They're going short sleeve shirts, shorts, sneakers.
Right. Yeah, what's the problem?
Let's go for a walk in the mountains.
It drops to 40 degrees and they don't know what to do and they die.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
This incident does highlight the dangers of extreme weather that happens on top of Mount Washington.
Right.
They reached the summit.
In the middle of the day yesterday, it was 8 below.
Yeah. And then there's the wind.
Right.
Negative 48.
Right.
So
you ever go to this? So Washington Observatory has a couple cameras, some of the webcams up there, live cams. It's fun to watch those during snowstorms. It's like, wow.
Oh, Betty,
Daytime
when a storm comes in. And
oh, yeah, you can see it come rolling right in.
It's visible, and then everything goes boom, blank.
Yep.
Well, it's been making the rounds on the social media, and everyone's gums are flapping about this, and it's about at the Grammys. And did we all take a look or see what Kanye West's wife sort of wore? They're
going to cancel his tour in Japan.
But I didn't see it.
She was basically naked.
She stripped down, right? On
No.
the
She had like a sheer,
it was transparent.
transparent,
just transparent dress. She was naked.
Yeah.
I thought when I saw him walk in with her, I thought she had a jacket
She did,
over her.
and then
She did, and then she took it on the red
so
carpet.
then
She took it off.
When it was time for the picture,
Yeah.
she took it off.
Yeah.
Yep. And then she's like posing, and Kanye's encouraging, "Hey, mate, you know."
He's so
Yeah.
gross.
He's a
I
gross.
can't.
He's a.
Sorry to your listeners
I
if they're
can't believe
fans,
that-
but not a fan.
He should be in jail with P Diddy.
I believe it.
Did
They're
he?
all losers anyway.
And honestly,
And so-
Jay Z too. Throw him
and-
in there too. I'm
and-
not a fan of
but
him
he
either.
got what he wanted, basically, because he came out with a statement and said she, Bianca, that's the wife's name, is, quote, the most Googled person on the planet, and that's what he was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you win.
Yeah.
Only because he was
Yeah,
standing
you.
next to her.
Right. And by the way,
No, I don't think so.
No, that's why he liked it.
Oh, well, maybe.
That's
yeah.
not why she's the most Googled. That's why he liked it.
sure his
'cause he
kids
was
are
standing
proud.
with her.
they're talking about canceling his tour in Japan, which is supposed
Because
to
of
happen.
this?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Because they were highly offended by what she did,
Yeah.
and they're talking about canceling his he's going to lose like $10 million.
Wow.
He needs
That
to
was
go
a
away.
stupid move on his part. And again, he's
Yeah.
not the brightest.
All right. Let's see. They're stealing eggs in Pennsylvania.
Because they're
must
like
be the
$12
prices.
a dozen.
Pennsylvania authorities say 100,000 organic eggs worth over $40,000 were stolen from the back of a truck last weekend. Police say the eggs were taken late Saturday night from the back of a distribution trailer outside an
A
organic
month ago,
food
they
center.
were worth $10,000.
That's right.
I was just gonna say, you
often-
should have done this story back to
Well,
back with
they
your
did.
Ulta $3,000 in
Yeah,
makeup
yeah.
story, and I just feel like, what's more important, the eggs or the makeup? But it's
Well,
insane.
The police offered no details on how such a major heist could have occurred unnoticed. So far, police say they have no leads and are asking anyone with information about the eggs to call Pennsylvania authorities.
What do the eggs look like?
Yeah.
They're oval.
Can we have a
How
description?
can you
White or
steal
brown on
eggs
them?
quickly and have no one notice? Like $30,000 in eggs.
Well, right now that's not a lot of dozens.
It's a bunch of
it's
breakfast
much
shop
less
owners
dozens than it
that
used to be.
stole them. I have been worried about all of the little coffee shop breakfasty places. I mean, this is
prices could
hard
go
for
up.
them.
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
we should
I
continue.
get
To,
it.
we should continue to go to those places as long as we can.
like Eggs Up in Cumberland. I
And
frequent
they
there.
just expanded.
They did.
They did a great
and
job.
then Coffee and
But
Cream
you know
in
what?
North Smithfield. These are my places.
I was there last weekend, packed,
packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
packed, and you know what? Good for them.
Yeah.
All right, this is going to come to no surprise to you, Melissa. Ready? Access to affordable health care is Americans' #1 health priority for government leaders. Shocking, huh?
Shocking.
New
Shocking.
survey from Emory University's Rollins School of Public Health and a Gallup poll that found more than half listed it as their top 3 priorities. A majority across party lines also felt that the federal government is better suited than state government to address top healthcare issues. Ooh, John, you might have a comment on that. I think the feds are better than the states. That's John's comment.
Speaking for John.
We're going to put the feds in charge, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I have a comment. Are you kidding me?
No, that's what the poll says. So. All right, don't shoot the messenger now. All right, the Department of Education is investigating reports of anti-Semitism at 5 universities. This comes after President Trump signed an executive order calling on federal agencies to take action against reports of widespread anti-Semitic harassment on college campuses. Ready to find out who they are? Nobody in Worcester, Melissa. Nothing to worry about over there.
Columbia.
Columbia University's one.
Oh wow, good job, John.
Oh, did you read this?
Yale, Brown, Harvard.
No. Northwestern University.
No, I was going to say
Ooh,
Northwestern. Yeah. Good old Chicago.
Portland State University.
I'll bet you this. Where's the California one?
University of California, Berkeley.
Berkeley? Okay,
Yep.
that makes sense.
And the University of Minnesota, Twin Cities.
Well, they actually have a big Middle Eastern population
In Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay. You know, it's kind of funny. I heard that there was a report in the news of the military taking out some ISIS leaders in Somalia.
Yep.
And I kept waiting for Ilhan Omar to come out and criticize Trump for killing Somalians. And she didn't do it. I wonder why.
I don't know.
She being a former Somalian
herself, yeah.
resident.
Companies are releasing their Super Bowl ads early.
Oh.
Have you seen any of them?
No.
Just the Dunkings one.
All right. I have seen part of it, but not the whole thing of the Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan when Harry
a
Met
little bit of that
Sally,
one. Yep.
Hellman's mayonnaise ad.
Poor Meg Ryan.
Are you
know,
okay?
I didn't hear about
Oh,
this.
they're recreating
I
the scene
can't
from
even
the
imagine
restaurant.
what they're doing with that.
It's got something to do with the Hellman's mayonnaise.
Yeah,
Of course.
it's not what you think.
It's
Why did you say
but
you
it
feel
is
bad
the
for Meg
result
Ryan?
in-
What am I missing?
Yeah, why do you feel bad for Meg
Why do you
Ryan?
feel bad for Meg Ryan?
She was like,
Oh,
she's had a lot of
destroyed
work
her
done.
face.
She really did.
Oh,
She got a little
really?
too much
She
work done.
overdid
Yeah.
surgery.
She was so pretty and so cute, and then I saw
She
her.
tried not to age.
I'm like, wow, what are you doing?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, be on the lookout for these ads. If you don't want to wait till Sunday to see the commercials, just keep an eye out. This year's spots include an Uber Eats commercial starring Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, actually, I did see that
He's
one.
the Bears. He's
Oh, I
That
haven't
was
seen
funny.
that
The Bears.
one.
Yeah.
With cameos from Martha Stewart and Charlie XCX. I don't know who that person is.
rapper, is he?
I think so. Another sees Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal reuniting to recreate the famous When Harry Met Sally restaurant scene for Hellman's mayonnaise.
He's also had work, by the way. Let's
He
not
has.
ignore the
he
fact that
has.
Billy Crystal
He's-
doesn't look the
he's-
same either.
He's great. Yeah.
No, he's
No, he's
got
had some
some
work.
fillers.
Oh, has he? Okay. Prices for ads during this year's Super Bowl reportedly broke records. Some spots are selling for more than $8 million for a 30-second ad.
Can you imagine what you could do with $8 million
Right.
differently? If I'm a company that has that much money, can you?
Do you know there was that
But you know, they wouldn't do it unless they get return on that investment.
And you got to remember, it's the most watched television show in the world. So
Yeah.
when advertisers do reach a frequency, right?
Yeah.
It's all about how many eyeballs you have on a particular
Yeah.
ad. You got them for 30 seconds. It's everybody's watching the Super Bowl for these things. It's a pretty good way to try to make an
I
impact.
wonder if any of them at the last minute are changing their script for their commercial into something DEI related for their company.
I don't know.
You have a platform audience. I just wonder.
well, that's like the I think it was Master
I
Lock.
wonder if we're going to see some
I don't know if
changes
it's-
in tone and energy in any of those commercials. Like
Ma-
you said.
Master Lock used to buy. They saved up all their money all year. They only ran one ad on TV once a year during the Super Bowl, and it was the gun,
where they shoot the gun
shooting the lock, and the lock stayed locked.
Right.
And that's it. That's
That's
all they did.
Right.
And I think when ads got to like $5 million an ad, they finally said, "Forget it.
Can't do that.
Yeah, we're not doing this anymore."
Right.
So, I look forward to that. Though.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
lock getting shot, and it worked. It worked just fine. So, all right, John, do you have any thought? Not thoughts. Do you have any
he has
guesses?
thoughts. He has
I know.
I-
he's
I
got guesses
don't think, I just
because
react.
Mayor Beauchamp said at the city council meeting, we have a market coming to where Sears is, in Walnut Hill Plaza. So it's going to be a 30,000 square
I've already
foot
speculated
space.
about what it is.
All right, who?
I'm
what?
guessing I think the name of the company is Valencia's. They have a store in Pawtucket. They have like 3 or 4 stores. It's a family-run operation. Their store in Pawtucket is only about 22,000 square feet, so it's a small footprint type operation. I know that the planning director had been in communication with whoever that company owner is, and they were talking about trying to get something more in the neighborhood of where they are, but they may have been convinced by the new owner of the plaza at the right price to consider the Sears store. So I'm guessing it's going to be that mid-sized store. Like, they're probably the
Dave's?
same kind of footprint as Dave's, except more. I don't think they'll be as, their market, their product line, and their pricing is different than Dave's.
Yeah.
Dave's is more upscale. This will be more urban.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're in urban centers. They're in Taunton.
Valencia is the name.
I think it's Valencia. I don't
All
think-
Are they over there by Barton
Give me
Street?
a moment.
Over by the train station area?
So 30,000 square feet is basically in their
it would be in
capacity?
their realm
In their
of
realm?
things to do.
Okay.
Their wheelhouse.
Have you heard of them, Melissa?
Nope.
Valencia? I haven't either, so I don't know where the one in Pawtucket. maybe
I'll say I
located,
hadn't heard of
but-
Dave's until they came to Carmel, and then I heard.
Well, that's true as well.
Really?
Do you have any guesses what market it might be? It's coming.
I thought it would have been a market basket, but I guess that's too small.
I was
It is too
hoping.
small.
Space is too small.
Good Lord. No. That's not even. The space is too slow. Our demographics are wrong. The income's not right. The traffic count's insufficient. There's no major highways.
Other
Yeah.
than that, it's fine. But,
I have to say, I was bucking the idea of going to the Market Basket in Johnston because I had experienced the one in Attleboro, and I just found it to be completely overwhelming and very anxiety-driven.
there's one in
trying to shop.
There's one in Bellingham.
Okay, well, maybe I'll try that one. But I
Okay.
did go to Johnston after I got a haircut a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was midday on a Saturday, which was the worst time to go. But I needed stuff. It was overwhelming. It was stressful. Whatever.
Really?
However, and you've heard me talk about the fact that I go to the Walmart up in Whitensville just to. I save a tremendous amount of money by going there versus stop and shop in my own town. Sorry for all the people who want me to stay in town. I can't do it. I saved even more. I couldn't get over it. I was like, wait a minute, this was awful and this was stressful. However, my normal grocery bill for a family of 4, 2 kids, we cook a lot, whatever, is somewhere around like $4 to $4.20 or so a week. Let's say
$4.20 a week.
A week, a lot of
Holy
produce.
cow!
We don't eat out a lot, so we try really hard. They have games, but we pack the meals to go to the games, all the things. Anyways, Market Basket, $2.25, and I was like, how did that just happen?
Wow.
So whatever.
Worth the drive.
It was worth the drive. So I tried it again last week, and I have to say, even just having 3 people bagging for me. I was like, whoa, I'm not doing this myself. Like it was.
It's Vicente's.
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 I still haven't heard of them.
It's on Pleasant
So I
Street.
was hoping you were going to say Market Basket because that's right up that
too
this
small.
location would be real, but it's too small.
Too small of a space
Yeah.
for them. All right, so Vincent. Well, we'll see if
Yeah,
we'll
they
see
have-
if
they have-
Teenagers living in your house. I'm
Long
saying
time,
for-
baby.
Yeah.
Long time.
I think they have 4
Empty
different
nester.
locations
in Rhode Island.
in Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Well, great. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. They say they want to do some renovations and then be open in the fall. So we're waiting for the official announcement on that. So I just want to get John's take on that.
Yeah.
We've run out of time, so we got to say goodbye. So Melissa Smith, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me. I will see you next week.
All right, and Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.
All right, and John Wood, thanks for coming in.
Good day, everyone. Watch out tomorrow and enjoy the
yes.
God-given day today.
All right, I'm Joe Callan. Have a great day, everyone. And stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do your members coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. U.S. President